Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clayton Zoka, and before we start this, my thoughts on, I just want to say that thank you for 200 subscribers. I didn't think we would get this far. Although, to be fair, most of my videos are kind of subpar and cringy in my head, but at the very least, I'm kind of proud to make them, especially the review ones, like, Horrid Henry, Help I'm a Fish, and Peter Rabbit. I'm glad that turned out to be a success. I hope you guys enjoyed the Peter Rabbit review. I had quite a bit of fun making it, honestly. And from now on, if there's a movie you want me to review, and it doesn't matter if I've seen it or not. If there is, send me an email. I will put a link in the description, and just type in, "Can you please review this movie?" Just put the video file in. It has to be English, not sped up, normal, and has to be. You can record it with Fraps or whatever, or you can just get it from a website. I don't care. No matter how you do it, as long as I can understand it, as long as there's no subtitles, or as long as it's in English, then that's okay. I will watch it, then I will do what I normally do, just edit out the parts that need to be in the video, or in the review to be precise, and then I will do it not on like a particular event, but just random. So, after Peter Rabbit, I thought I might as well just review or do my thoughts on a good movie based off a book. Not that Peter Rabbit is bad. Like I said, it's mediocre, but this one is probably one of my favourites. And I should know, because it is one of my favourites. So I'm going to be talking about Where the Wild Things Are, directed by Spike Jonze, who also directed another brilliant movie, Her, with Joaquin Phoenix. He also did the short film I'm Here, which you guys should definitely check out. It's a really powerful, touching, and very moving romance film. I'll put a link in the description for the short film as well, so you can go check it out. I think this one, there are a couple of versions. There's one with subtitles, and then there's one that has like different sounds coming from each side. There could be one sound playing just from the left or just from the right. I'll give you there is one, but it's in two parters, and I'll give you the best one. So I'll put the link for part 1 and part 2. Do definitely go check it out. So Spike Jonze has proven to be a very creative director in terms of what he's done with films and, well, obviously with his short films. I don't know if he's done any more, but but like Wes Anderson, he seems like a guy who knows what he's doing. And he definitely seems like a brilliant and trill guy to be around. So a little history about the movie. It's based off the book by Marie Sandek, which is one of my favourite books. And fun fact, I actually like kids' books. I know, it sounds strange, but novels can be a little... yeah, sure, novels can be interesting, but I don't find them that interesting. I don't know, I think kids' books just have a lot more imagination, a lot more thought into them, and it just kind of stands out to me, and it makes me realise I would love to do something like that one day. And poems too, yeah, poems do definitely stand out as well, like from, of course, the legendary Michael Rosen. Yes, I do think his poops are funny by other people, but in real life, I think his work's terrific. And same with kids' books. I think they're wonderful for a younger audience. And Where the Wild Things Are, and Captain Underpants, and just to name a few, are honestly quite perfect. And when I found out there was a movie about it, I don't think if you know this, but this movie was released in 2009, and I think it was in early production in 2006. And when I came out of seeing Up, and I remember seeing the cardboard cutout of this movie, I was pretty terrified. And I know, you must be the same as well, but the movie looked creepy, and I didn't see it when I was like 9. And I never bothered to buy it on DVD either. And then, few years later, I decided to give the film a chance to see if it's not as scary as people are saying, and see if what Spike Jonze is doing that's based off the book will succeed, expand the universe of the book, or if it's moving. So, is it amazing? Let's find out. So, just like the book, it's about a kid who goes to the island of Wild Things, who has fun and becomes the king, until he has to go home. Also, he went to bed with no supper because he was naughty. This movie is kind of like the book, except Max has an imagination just like the first movie. I highly doubt he's going to make a sequel since I don't think it made much money. He has a high active or overactive imagination, I should say. He, from what I can gather, he doesn't have any friends. He likes to play on his own, likes to play in his head. He likes to use objects as things, which I can relate to because we're at a time when kids play around and get creative. We all use certain objects to play around. And however, unlike the book where he gets sent to his room or get into trouble with no supper, he gets into an argument with his mother, played by Catherine Tate. And he doesn't go to his room, he just runs away and goes to the island and has fun, declares himself to be the king, and he expresses his freedom, but at the same time he expresses his normal life to the Wild Things. And you may think, well, this is a fun place where everyone's good and everyone's having the time of their lives. But at the same time, the film and its world can have its down-to-earth and slower but starting to turn on them moments. Basically, it's not a world that I don't think everyone will go to. It's not perfect. Wow. I have seen so much imagination and so much thought put into films, but this takes the cake. This is not a bad thing, actually. This is a great thing. Spike Jonze took what made the original book great and made it better. Unlike Peter Rabbit, where it takes something as simple as from Beatrix Potter and expands it into something that's annoying, predictable, but at the same time it's not the worst thing in the world. What Spike Jonze did with this is expand it and explore the themes that the book was about. And that's going through your inner child and expressing freedom, but at the same time expressing your feelings in your head with the people in your world, in your imagination, people that you want to connect with and relate to. I think that's the biggest thing that the film is taking, is that you can relate to what the kid is doing and what people. Well, I mean, you don't have to relate to what the people or the things he made up. It could be anything. It's all from the imagination. There are no limits. And when you think of a plot that's relatable and it goes by the numbers, yes, it can be predictable, but at the same time, you can somewhat relate to the kid and what he's going through and how everyone in his mind is turning and how they are getting along with him, how they're bonding and how they've got their own problems and issues. It's not a world that's perfect. It's a world that has real life issues, but at the same time can be made with the main character's mind. So if you're thinking of a movie that's going to make sense, this movie is not going to be for you. It's not supposed to. Although it kind of, it kind of is with the whole Wild Things relating to Max, and there can be a symbolism of his real life. But it's not like a world that's down to earth or human. It's still a world made by a kid, but there are still human elements to it that makes it somewhat unique. Like, he like the way Max talks to the wild things is like actually talking to real people, but they're figments of his imagination. And I think that's a really clever commentary on childhood and how can you express your feelings to others. It's like before you speak out, think about all your actions and how you feel about your life, and you need some alone time. I've seen a lot of films do that, and a lot of short films do that, and I know there are people that have done that. It's not good taking your anger out on others, especially family. That's always there for you. It's not always good, but if you always do that, then you can always sit down, have a chat with them, just express your feelings and say how sorry you are. There are people that will love you no matter what, and when you need alone time, you can express the feelings in your head and see how the outcome in reality will be. And I think this movie does it in the most powerful and yet very entertaining way. And also the movie's funny as well, thanks to Spike Jonze's direction and the cast, which I will get onto later. While this has been done before, Spike Jonze did this incredibly well and expresses the point in a mature, simple, somewhat convoluted but very charming and kind of witty way. And I appreciate him for that. The only problem with the film is that while Spike Jonze expanding on the world of Where the Wild Things Are is brilliant, and I think he did a terrific job, and I applaud him. Well done, Mr. Jonze. There's one thing in the film which I won't spoil at all, since I don't think this movie deserves to be spoiled, that doesn't come from the book, and it involves two characters fighting, talking, and one character coming in saying that he's not who he is. And that, I'll admit, and this does involve Carol, you'll know which one I mean, where it goes to a point where the world that the main character Max has created is starting to turn a little aggressive and a little like he's social and real life. You'll know which one I'm talking about, and it involves the fort and some really unpleasant scenery. That right there, I'll admit, is pretty damn creepy, and it does kind of grind to a halt to where the film actually has clever commentary and really powerful emotions and relatability, and then there's just this scene that's just scary, disgusting, and I mean, you can still like these characters. They're not like bad guys or anything. They have their own feelings that are not very expressive, but you can see where they're coming from and how they can get confused at times. But that's the only nitpick I have with the film that's just kind of bothersome. Besides that, Spike Jonze, I'm glad you're not one of the few directors that actually makes a film based off a book that doesn't suck. Peter Rabbit. I can't think of any others because, Right, visuals and production design. Say what you want, but visually, this is one of the best looking films I've seen in a long time. Yes, I know Star Wars, the Marvel films, some of the DC films, some of Nolan's films, Wes Anderson's films. I know there is good scenery out there, but this one is more like a place you would love to go, a place that looks real, that looks beautiful. It looks like a place you would love to live in. Well, not in that Max's neighborhood. I mean, in the forest where the wild things are. Hey, see what I did there? Anyway, right, visually, the movie's very well shot. Mostly, I'll get to that. The color palette and the visual design of the Wild Things world, the fort, the costumes of the the Wild Things, and how the world works is visually appealing. The movie never looks boring. It has a bit of a cartoony look, but a realistic and really down to earth look. I know it's just a forest, but the forest has this very beautiful, scary, real. Sorry about that. Real look to it that it makes you feel welcomed. It makes you feel like you're part of this world. And this is a beautiful forest. I would love to live in that forest. And then, the scenery is just absolutely beautiful. The scene that involves Max just looking over some water, just looking over the lake. And then he's standing on some, like, brown grass or whatever. You know which one I mean. That scene is one of the few visual standpoints that looks really good. And it shows that Spike Jonze knows how to do visual storytelling. Even Max's neighborhood looks pretty good. I mean, yeah, it doesn't look like anything special, but at least it looks nice. The only problem I have with the visuals, and this is involving the camera people, the camera work. Well, most of the shaky cams in the film is actually more, I guess, real. It's supposed to look like that. The character. It's supposed to look like that. The viewer, which is you and I, is supposed to see this from our point of view. I've seen worse shaky cams, especially in Transformers and all that. This one does have a little bit of some not that great shaky cam. Some of it is okay, but sometimes I can't tell what the hell is going on. It's too fast, it's too shaky. It's a bit annoying, but it's not as bad as Transformers. And at least Spike Jonze kind of knew what he was doing. Visually, this movie looks amazing. And heck, the production design, the costumes of the Wild Things, and the fort and everything. At least there is effort. At least they're putting so much into it. I love the look of this movie. I love the production design. It's absolutely wonderful. Characters and acting. My favourite character in the film, of course, is Max, who has an overactive imagination. I can really relate to the kid so much. About family problems, about how he's having fun with the Wild Things. How he's expressing the feelings of family, freedom, loneliness. Using his imagination to be whoever he wants. I can really, really relate to him. Anyways, sorry about that. But I can really relate to Max. He's a very relatable character that has so much in his imagination. Good, bad, what he wants, what he needs, what he thinks is suitable for him. And he's really likable too, he has his ups and downs, and he can be a bit shouty, but he is just a kid. And he has an imagination, he can do what he wants. He's so full of life, and no matter what happens in the future, he will just love it no matter what. His mum, played by Catherine Tate, is, she's just a mum who tries to look out for him. But she has other things to do, like get a boyfriend. And I'm not joking, this one's played by Bruce Banner. No, not Edward Norton. No, not Eric Banner. Nope. That's right, Mark Ruffalo. This is what he does when he's not being the Hulk. I know, it's crazy. The Wild Things, including Carol, Douglas, KW, Judith, Ira, Alexander, and the Bull, all have unique personalities. Like Carol is the leader, Douglas is the sensible one, Judith and Ira are couples, KW is more like the one who is more like the cool one, Alexander is the quiet one, and the Bull is especially the one who doesn't talk that much. These characters represent something in Max's life, like they represent a family member or a figment of his life, like Carol could be his brother that he never had. Ira and Judith could be the parents. KW could be the sister. Alexander could be the quiet brother, the quiet sibling maybe, or the Bull is probably the one that's the odd one out, the one that doesn't stand out as much. Shit, I think I'm forgetting someone. Oh yeah, Douglas. Douglas was probably be the the good kid. And I love all the Wild Things. I think they're really, really lovely, and I think they all have unique personalities. And again, it's a realistic world. Keep in mind, it's not just imagination, it's also what Max has in his real world. Like, these characters are not just happy-go-lucky. They do have problems of their own that they have to deal with. Like coming into new characters coming into their world that no one likes, or saying things that don't make sense and they think it's literal, but it's just a figure of speech. Sorry. And also the voice performances by everyone is amazing. Chris Cooper, Catherine O'Hara, Forrest Whitaker, and James Garifos, who voices Carol, rest in peace, is terrific as Carol. While these characters may not be, I don't have any issues with the characters actually. They're all relatable, lovable, and they're very well acted, and the voice acting is amazing. You'll love them no matter what. Oh, on a side note, the score by Cars Burwell, who did Anomalisa and the Twilight films, is amazing. And unlike Peter Rabbit, where the pop songs are terrible, these ones by Karen O, that are relaxing and calming, fit the movie very, very well. So yeah, Where the Wild Things Are, one of the best films based off a book, and one of my personal favourite films. It has a powerful and relatable story, wonderful visuals, lovable characters that you'll probably have a favourite one and you can relate and have heart for Max. It has good comedy as well, good heart. It has everything I want in a film. If you're just down the DVD shop and you just want to buy a good film, I recommend this one. This movie gets a 9.9 out of 10. So, I mean, if you like the book and you think this movie will be your cup of tea, give it a try, I guess, but this is not a movie for kids. It is kind of scary. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I've got for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And until next time, bye for now.